The new NFL roughing the passer rule might go down as the most despised thing in the history of humanity. No exaggerations here. The new rule was implemented to crack down on defensive players putting their weight on quarterbacks and driving them into the ground. In short, touching a quarterback will most likely get you flagged. I'm Justin Frax, and today we present the 10 worst roughing the passer NFL calls ever. At TPS, we post videos every single day, so don't forget to click the subscribe button to subscribe. Then click the notification bell to be notified when we post a new video. And a big shout out to HanTheMan Gaming for suggesting this list. We hope you enjoy it. Leave your ideas down below. You never know, we might use your idea and give you a shout out. Number 10, ERIK WALDEN on Russell Wilson. Remember the 2012 referee lockout? So did we, unfortunately. The NFL had to use replacement refs for the first 3 weeks, and it turned out to be an utter disaster. The final game of the replacement officials was a Week 3 Monday nighter between the Green Bay Packers and Seattle Seahawks. Though everyone remembers the controversial Hail Mary winning catch by Golden Tate, people forgot that the refs called the roughing the passer penalty on Packers linebacker ERIK WALDEN. How dare Walden tried to sack the quarterback who managed to get the ball out. Number 9, AKIEM HICKS on Aaron Rodgers. In case you didn't know, Aaron Rodgers has owned the Chicago Bears throughout his career. Most of the time, the games aren't even close. So life was quite frustrating for HICKS and Bears fans when he seemingly got a clean hit on Rodgers. After all, roughing up a quarterback and scaring him is the best medicine, right? Except for the fact that HICKS was flagged for this. Not seeing the penalty. Number 8, JPP on Ben Roethlisberger. The Pittsburgh Steelers visited the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Week 3 of the 2018 season. However, fans who spent their Monday evenings watching this game got to see a circus of ridiculous penalty calls rather than an actual football game. Officials called 4 roughing the passer penalties in this game. The worst call was on Jason Pierre-Paul, who barely touched Steelers quarterback Ben Roethlisberger on this play. The worst part? Big Ben himself admitted that he oversold the play. We couldn't agree more, but blame the refs for falling for it. Number 7, Clay Matthews on Kirk Cousins. The Green Bay Packers and Minnesota Vikings met in a pivotal Week 2 matchup of the NFC North powerhouses in 2018. With the Packers leading 29-21 and under 2 minutes left, Vikings QB Kirk Cousins threw an interception that seemingly put the game away. Except, the referees bailed out Minnesota with this awful call. The game ended in a tie, but really the Packers should have won. Vikings fans must have loved the refs that day. Number 6, Tyrone CRAWFORD on Russell Wilson. TPS's very own Alex Hoegler went to see the Seattle Seahawks host the Dallas Cowboys in Week 3 of the 2018 season. And though he wants you to know we had a great time, it's important to note that this game features, another disturbingly bad roughing the passer penalty. Just when the Cowboys thought they made a big defensive stop on Russell Wilson and the Seattle offense, Tyrone CRAWFORD got flagged for what was actually a clean hit. Seattle won that game easily. It helps when you get aided by penalty calls like that. Number 5, Sheldon Richardson on Jimmy Garoppolo. The Minnesota Vikings handed San Francisco 49ers quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo his first career loss in Week 1 of the 2018 season. And they're pretty lucky to have gotten away with the win. Not because they played bad, but because the refs gifted the 49ers with this here call. Next thing you know, the league will be fining and suspending players who breathe on quarterbacks. Number 4, London FLETCHER on Tom Brady. Tom Brady suffered a season-ending torn ACL in Week 1 of the 2008 season, which came from an ugly hit by Bernard Pollard of the Kansas City Chiefs. Some people believe that the hit on Brady forced the NFL to go soft with their roughing the passer penalties. Maybe that's why the referees flagged London FLETCHER for barely touching Brady here. Way to protect your QB, refs. Really, what can defenders do anymore? Number 3, GRADY JARRETT on Nick Foles. The Atlanta Falcons Philadelphia Eagles 2018 season opener was exciting and all, but you know how defenders used to be allowed to actually tackle quarterbacks? Remember how they used to actually be able to hit them and try to get in their heads? Falcons pass rusher GRADY JARRETT learned in Week 1 that the rules have changed and he isn't allowed to touch a quarterback anymore. Wonder if the NFL is going to penalize me for complaining about that call. Seriously, that's where we're going to be soon. Number 2, TERRELL SUGGS on Tom Brady. Make no mistake, Baltimore Ravens legend TERRELL SUGGS is one of the hardest-hitting players ever. So many of the penalty calls against him have been justified, but not this one from a Week 4 game against the New England Patriots in 2009. Suggs may go down as the biggest Patriots hater of all time. Judging by this roughing the passer penalty he received for barely touching Tom Brady, we can somewhat understand why. Brady's former teammate, NBC analyst Rodney Harrison, even told Brady to take off his skirt and lighten up. And number 1, Clay Matthews on Alex Smith. Clay Matthews was flagged a trio of times throughout the first 3 weeks of the 2018 season for roughing the passer. In case you didn't know, that's a lot. In defense of Matthews, all 3 of the penalty calls were quite awful, but this one in Week 3 against Alex Smith and the Washington Redskins tops our list of the worst roughing the passer calls ever. No wonder Matthews hates the rule. The NFL may as well tell him he's not allowed within 50 feet of a quarterback. What do you think is the worst NFL roughing the passer call ever? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.